These pearl statement earrings look so complex, but they're surprisingly easy to make. You need only some glass pearls, some wire and some chain, as well as a pair of ear hooks, making them cost effective as well as stunning. I originally made these earrings in a live stream on the Style Makers Network a couple of months ago, but I loved them so much that I decided I needed to share them with you as well. I made the original with white pearls, but today I'm going to be making another pair with baby pink pearls. You could make these earrings with any beads you wished or any size. The only consideration is that the holes need to be large enough to easily get the wire through twice. This project is a good one to use up those tiny pieces of chain that you have lying around left over from other projects. I used a 24 gauge wire, but you could potentially use a 26 if that's what you have on hand. I wouldn't think you could go any thicker than a 24 gauge, as it would be quite difficult to get the wire through the holes and to manipulate it to where you want it. So here's my baby pink pearls here. As you can see, they're a gorgeous soft colour, but I thought I'd give you some other options as well that you could use to make these earrings. I've got here some royal blue glass pearls, and they would look stunning made up into this, and some purple. And these ones are aqua. Now these ones aren't pearls, they're actually just round glass beads, or smooth round glass beads, but they would look really stunning as well made up into these earrings. As well as your beads, you're going to need some chain. One I have here is a 5 by 3mm flat oval chain in a stainless steel. You could use any chain you wanted for this, so long as it's in proportion to the beads. You wouldn't want to use a big chunky chain if you're using a small bead. And lastly, you will need some 24 gauge wire. The first thing we're going to do is cut some chain. Now I've already cut some of mine. You will need 9 pieces of chain per earring, so 18 in total. I've got my ruler here and I'll measure my chain. So just starting at one end here, and my chain measures 3 centimeters long, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 links. So I'm going to cut all of my chain at 9 links. So the easiest way to cut your chain, once you've cut your first one, is to hang it. Now, as I said, I've got it on a little piece of wire here, and I'm going to just pop on that one because that's the one I just took off. And I have 8 pieces on my little piece of wire here. So if I take the end of my chain and I feed on the first link onto my wire, and then I can hang it and see how long I need to cut it. So if we look at it like this, just hanging on a straight piece of wire, you can see that I need to cut this link here. Now this is stainless steel chain, so I'm going to use my memory wire cutters to cut it because I don't want to damage my standard cutters. And I'm going to come in and cut that link there. Get rid of the excess bit. And now you can see I have all my chain cut and they are the same length. Now I've only cut enough for one earring, but obviously you would cut 18 pieces of chain. Right, now I'm going to put that aside for a minute because I don't need that till the second part of the earring. Putting it on a piece of wire there just corrals everything and keeps it all nice and neat. We're going to start off by cutting our wire. Now you will need 2 pieces per earring, so 4 pieces in total, and you want to cut them quite long, so probably about 30 centimeters or 12 inches. And I'm just going to cut 2 pieces because I'm only making one earring for you today. So there's my 2 pieces of wire, which will be very springy because they're 24 gauge, but I'm going to put one piece aside over here, and I'm going to use one to start. We're going to start off by threading on 5 pearls. Did I say you needed 25 pearls per earring? I can't remember, but you do. So 50 pearls all up. Right, so we're going to find the center of our wire just by putting the ends together. Now this doesn't have to be perfect, it's very much just close to the center, and we're going to bend the wire over on either side like that. So now we're going to put on another 4 pearls. So we put those 4 pearls onto one side, then we're going to take the wire from the other end and thread it through those 4 pearls. And this is where you need a pearl or a bead with a decent sized hole so you can get those 2 pieces of wire through. Sometimes they don't want to go, but if you squeeze it close to where the bead is, it will go through. if your hole's big enough. Just going to pull both pieces of wire up like that. Then we're going to squish it. So just squash the beads together. And they won't want to go, but they will go. There we go. So you just want to make sure that you've got a similar amount of wire on either side of the pearls there. Now, if you can't get the wire through, you can use your chain nose pliers to pull the wire. Right now we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to pull our wire up and we're going to take one piece and we're going to put 3 pearls on this time.
Options, every detail in my head, but it doesn't really matter, nothing matters, so I cry.
And feed them down, and then we're taking the end of our wire and we're going to put that through all 3 beads. And just pull everything up. And that's what I have now. Now, if you were struggling with this, you could use a longer piece of wire just to give you a little bit more to play with. Then we're going to do the same thing again, put our wire up, and we're going to thread on 2 beads this time. As I said, these are super easy to make. So 2 beads on, and we're going to take our other end and pop it through those 2 beads as well. And pull everything up. And give it a good pull. Doesn't matter if you bend your wire, just give it a good pull. That is what I have now, and you know what I'm going to do next, right? I'm going to put on 1 bead. So bending up the wire on either side and 1 bead on that side, and then take your other wire and go through this side and pull everything up. So that's the first half of my earring. Now I'm going to take my wire and bend it across the top of the bead like that. Then I'm going to take 1 wire and bend it up so it's sticking straight up from my bead. Then I'm going to take the one that's not sticking up and I'm going to wrap it around twice. Now I'm going to take my flush cutters and chop off the end, just holding that one out of the way. Come in as close as you possibly can and cut off the end. So there we go, that's what we have so far. Now I want to make a loop in the top, so I'm going to bend the wire to my right at the very top of that wire wrap that I just made. So just bending my wire over like that. Then I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm going to make a loop. So up and over, turn your pliers and come back around. So that's what I have now. And I'm going to put on my ear wire. So just feeding on the loop of my ear wire up through the loop like that. Now I'm taking my chain nose pliers and I'm going to hold the loop I just made right where the wire crosses over. I'm going to take this end and I'm going to wrap it around on top of the other wraps that I just made, trying to keep it nice and tidy. So I did 3 wraps this time and I've got it finishing at the front, so I need to go around again. Bring it to the back. This is the front of your ear because this is the ear where the ear hook goes into your ear, so you want to make sure that you finish your wrap at the front. At the back, oh goodness. So coming in here nice and close as I can get. I should have held my wire, but I didn't, so it flew away. And then I'm coming in with my crimping pliers and just tucking that end in. So you can actually just have this as an earring if you wanted, just half of it. We're not going to do that today though, we're going to make the second part. I want to take a moment to thank the members of the Style Makers Network for making this episode possible. And if you are interested in joining the network, I will leave you a link in the description box below. We've got our other piece of wire and we're going to thread it through the beads here. So through these 5. Now you will find that this is probably the most tricky part of making this earring, is getting this wire through these 5 beads. You can put it through when you do put your initial piece of wire through if you like, but I found that it got in the way. So if you push that piece of wire straight, you'll find it easier. Actually, I'm going to use the other end because that wire's got a bend in it. Now if you can't get it through, you can bring it up and push it through one at a time. It's not as good to do it that way, but you've just got to get it through. I find that sometimes if you roll the beads on there, it will go through better for some reason. Now you want to make sure, if you have done this like I did, make sure that it's not twisted. Make sure you turn it around so that you don't get a twist in the wire, and you might need to do that several times. So now I have my wire through the 5 beads and I've got it at similar lengths, so I'm going to feed on my 4 beads. But before I do that, I need to make sure that I put my chain on. I am going to feed on the last link of my chain onto each piece of wire. So that's 1 piece of chain on each side, like that. Now I'm going to feed on my 4 beads.
We got nowhere to be, just a slow dance with the summer heat. The world outside can't wait a few.
So I have my chain caught between my beads. Now I'm going to put this end through my 4 beads.
The sun is peeking through the cotton white blinds.
Now if you're having trouble with your beads getting the wire through, just squeeze it down really close to the tip of the wire and it should go through. As I said, spinning your bead for some reason works as well. Okay, now pull everything up. So that is what I have now. If you're enjoying this one, remember to hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up, and also to hit the notification bell. Now, if you are subscribed and you're not seeing my videos, consider signing up for my newsletter. It's linked below. Now I'm going to put a piece of chain on each side and then put my 3 beads on, hanging my chain and feeding it onto the wire. That is the easiest way to put a piece of chain onto a piece of wire. And then I want to have 3 beads.
Summer air through window cracks.
So that's what I have now. And it looks like my chain is in the wrong place, but it's not, I swear. Now I'm going to take the end of this piece and put it through my 3 beads. And I find sometimes it's easier to turn it around so that you can do that. Make sure that you don't put your wire through your chain. And you see that's what we have now. We've got 2 pieces of chain on either side. Now we're going to put another 2 pieces of chain on, 1 on each piece of wire. So 1 on here, just hang it. And 1 on here. And then we're going to fold up, and this time we're putting 2 pearls on.
Feels like that. Na, 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 na. Feels like that. Oh, it feels like.
And you're just wanting to make sure that your beads are centered. So you're wanting your top bead to sit in the divot that is made between those 2 beads. Now we need to put on another piece of chain on either side. So just like before, on one side and the other side. And pull it around, and then we're going to put on our last bead. And through the hole the other way with your other wire. Before I finish off, I'm going to give it a good pull with my pliers. There we go. Just to make sure everything's nice and tight. Now, of course, we have to finish off, so we're going to bring our wire up and make a bend. And now we need to attach our last piece of chain and we need to finish. I've bent my wire up here like I did at the top, and I'm going to take this one and I'm going to wrap it around twice. Just making sure that it sits, those wraps sit nicely on top of each other. This is the front of my earring, so I'm going to go actually back one because I don't want to go around to another one. I'm going to get right in there and cut nice and close and tuck in that end with my crimping pliers. So that is what I have now, and I just need to make a loop. So I'm going to bend the wire towards me at the top of that wrap, like that. Now I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm going to make a small loop. I don't want this one to be very big, I want it to be small. So just right at the tip of my pliers there, going around and then pulling, turning my wrist and pulling the wire towards me, like that. Now I'm going to put on my last piece of chain, just hanging it so that I can find the end link and popping it on and bringing it all the way up into that loop, like that. I'm going to take my chain nose pliers and hold the loop just where it crosses over. And I'm going to take this end and I'm going to wrap it, making sure my chain doesn't get in the way. Now remember, this is the front, so I want to go around 3 times, ending at the back. Now I'm going to turn it over, get all the chain out of the way, and cut off my tail. And I'm going to tuck in my end. There is my earring all finished. Of course, now all you need to do is make another one. Here's the earrings on. These are the originals. Let me show you the pink ones. They are exactly the same, but pink. And only just a baby pink, so not really that much difference from the white ones. They're so gorgeous. I just love them. And you know, I often wear statement pearl necklaces. And when I do, I wear just little teardrop earrings because I don't want to overshadow the statement necklace, but it's sometimes nice just to wear a pair of statement earrings, and these are gorgeous. I'm absolutely loving them. So let me show you them side by side. So you can see there's a slight difference in color between the pink ones and the white ones. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again soon.